What's up, guys? If this is the first time you're seeing my face, welcome. And if you've been here before, welcome back, fam. Today we're going to be talking about Minecraft Dungeons, what I've seen, what I've experienced, and what I think about the game, and why you and all of your friends should get it. So, Dungeons. It's an entry-level, break the ice, dip your toes in the water, dungeon crawler experience, and I can say that confidently because I've never played one before this. There are 3 things that Dungeon nailed that really made it super easy to fall into, and one of my absolute favorite games right now. It has a very low barrier to entry in terms of experience, meaning that if you've played a video game before, you'll do just fine. It has a clean aesthetic, compliments of, being part of the Minecraft universe, making it very easy to approach, because it's not too flashy, it's not some interesting art style, it's just very clean and simple. And there is much deeper gameplay and building than you might think. And what I mean by building is assembling your armor, weapons, and artifacts to focus on a certain type of playstyle or build. With what is a fairly tame loot pool having what appears to be only a handful of weapon types, both in melee and ranged weapon types, there are at least one if not multiple unique variants of each weapon that make them much more powerful and therefore valuable to your build. And to take it even further, there are even more weapon types to be found once you complete the game on each of the story and adventure difficulties. Now that we've talked about how the game is easy to approach, let's get into 5 tips I would have loved to know going in. 1. Loot everything. This means take your time using the map to search every nook and cranny of each dungeon to make sure that you find every hidden chest, emerald jar, and even secret area to maximize your time spent clearing that dungeon. 2. Don't get attached to your armor and weapons, especially early on. The last thing you want to do is sit on your level 5 evocation robes because you like the big hat, and when you're trying to run harder and harder missions, the stats just don't measure up anymore. I promise you'll get another set, or you might even find out that you didn't even like the movement speed buff that comes with it and you'd rather get more arrows from your hunter's armor. And if you really are hard set on one kind of item, you can always go back and run missions again with that item available in the loot pool to try and get a better level on it. Which leads me to my next point, number 3. Grind out missions. All I mean by this is, if you really want scale mail, you might have to run a specific mission a handful of times on a slightly higher difficulty to get that armor you want at the level that you need. 4. Artifacts are your best friend. They might seem like the overlooked stepchild, but artifacts can be what take your build from good to great, or even pretty broken in some cases. For instance, here's some footage of me using a late-game fast-paced melee build using the Radiance enchantment as my survivability. The first clip is using no artifacts. As you can see, I don't last too long, and I have a hard time staying in a safe health range. The second clip, however, tells a different story of a dungeon crawler who quite literally can't be defeated. All of that is to say, try out all the different artifacts and you might find out that they can really amp up the power of your build. Tip number 5, have fun. This might seem like a lame tip, but it might be the most important one. We all want to be the best and have the coolest armor, most decked out build, but what good is it if you're not having fun? Play with your friends, because some of those bosses can be pretty tough. I'm looking at you, Enchanted Cauldron. And even just mess around with new builds. There's a million different ways to play, a million different builds to assemble, and a million great times to be had. So just go have some fun. I also thought it would be worth mentioning that there are 2 planned DLCs coming out in the next few months. They'll be adding more dungeons, armor, weapons, enemy types, artifacts. But until then, keep crawling them sweet, sweet blocky dungeons. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel for all future content, and let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Thank you again for watching. Have a great rest of your day, evening, night, morning, lunch break, restroom break, whenever you're watching this, and stay safe.